or whatever it is, whatever you're struggling with right now that you're going through, loneliness, depression, whatever it is, your pain, your struggle, write this down. You've got to get this. It's temporary. It's temporary. In other words, it won't last. You see, you need to hear that tonight. Students, you really need to hear that tonight. Your pain won't last. Your hurt won't last. You've got to hear that. Write that down if you haven't. Your pain won't last. The Lord Jesus Christ, the gospel of Christ, listen, will take you to a full completion of perfection one day when you get to heaven. Think of it right now. You are tempted. You live in a sin-stricken world. You are broken. You are struggling. And that's good. Listen, we are going to fight this battle and different battles our entire lives. We're gonna finish one thing and then something else is going to happen. Why? Now you're thinking, man, that's not really encouraging. Well, hold on. Listen to me very, very closely. There's coming a day, even though we're in this world, that we're going to struggle and struggle and struggle. But you can't lose hope. You can't lose faith, because one day, when you breathe in and breathe out, you will stand, for those who know Jesus and who are believers, you will stand in the portals of heaven, in God's kingdom, in God's heaven. And did you realize that for the first time, listen to me, when you get to heaven as a believer, for the first time in your existence, listen to this. For the first time in your existence, when you get to God's heaven, the forces of hell, the demons, the devil, temptation, sin, hurt, struggle, pain, depression, cancer, loneliness, porn, broken relationships, all the junk, all the mess, for the first time in your existence, will no longer have any reign on your life. Because your pain is temporary. That's what's so awesome about Christianity. It is. It is. Y'all doing good tonight? Yeah. Okay. Are y'all tired? Are you tired, or are you just waiting for me to say a quote that you know that's going to make it on Epicenter meetings? I mean, what's going on? And I resent the chalkboard comment. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Did you hear that? Students, listen to me. Your pain and your hurt is temporary. We live in an unfinished world with unfinished people, but that's not going to last forever. It is all temporary. I played basketball when I was in high school, and my senior year, our team was the only team in our school's history that had ever made it to a state tournament. So it was a big deal. And we played this one tournament. Of course, in all the newspapers, they always say who they project who they think they're going to win. And my town it was called Piggott, okay, as most of y'all know. And thanks for laughing. And we played this team called Caruthersville, and Caruthersville always had an incredible basketball team. And so Caruthersville, they were picked to win the tournament, okay? And so we actually got to the finals, and it was Piggott, big metropolitan area. Just kidding. Piggott and Caruthersville. Now, this was the highlight of my high school time, okay? In that tournament, I'll never forget what happened. We had 3.5 minutes left in the tournament, in the game. And it's us versus them. And guess what? My team, we were down 3.5 minutes left in the game. And we were down by a lot. 16 points. 16 points. Okay, we're down by 16 points. The guy that I was guarding, he loved to talk a lot. I mean, you know those, you play sports, you know those people you play games, they love to just mouth, just talk during the game. You know what I'm saying? I never did, okay? I never did. And, except for this night. And so this guy kept giving me a hard time that was guarding me. And he's just like, you know, you guys are going to lose. He's like, you guys are terrible. You guys, da-da-da-da, several things that I can't say up here. And I'm like, dude, just chill out. And I'll never forget, we were on the free throw line. And I'm down there, and I'm ready, and I'm just waiting for the ball to be shot. And I'm down like this. And this guy gets as close as he could to my leg. And he kind of reaches down to my ear. And he tells me in that very moment, he looks at me, and he says this: "You are going to lose." You know what I did? No, do you know what I did in that very moment? I turned around and I hit him. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Do you know what I did? I'll never forget it. I can play it over my mind even today, every now and then. You know what I did? I looked at him like this. 3.5 minutes left. Listen here. 3.5 minutes left. And I do this. I looked at him and I said, "It's not finished yet." And do you know what happened? 3.5 minutes later, we won that stinking tournament. Yes! We won that thing. We did. We did. We did. I mean, it was incredible. Oh my goodness. Hey, you know what happened to that team? Do you know what happened to that Crothersville team? They were it was an invitational tournament. And if you only could go to the tournament if you were invited. Thus, invitational tournament. They go back to the locker room and they absolutely destroyed the locker room because they had never lost the tournament ever. And so it was only, when I went back home a few times ago, I asked somebody, I said, "Man, has Crothersville ever gotten back to the tournament?" And it was like 2014 was like the first time since that night that they had gotten invited back to the tournament or whatever. It was crazy. That has nothing to do with the sermon, but that part of it. But here's the thing.